Welcome back, Kings. Today we'll continue the recaps of One Punch Man, where we see Genos vs Sonic and Saitama vs Blizzard, not to mention the introduction of a new overpowered monster. Let's get straight into it. Sitch continues to explain the situation to the criminals. He says that with the hundreds of heroes, it still simply won't be enough, and the criminals will be compensated for each and every monster they take down. One hero opposes this, saying you can't trust these scum when things turn south. One little man gets too excited and jumps over to him with a knife, only to get blasted away by him saying he lacks heart. Suddenly, someone in the crowd mentions that the old lady seer was correct. Her prediction that a god-level threat would emerge was accurate, and he's standing right here. It's Garo, and he wants everyone in the room to jump him at once to prove he's the strongest. Sitch tries to kick him out, but he refuses, so he calls upon the heroes to escort him off the property. The first hero is defeated immediately, and the second only manages to punch the ground before getting hit away also. The criminals cheer, but Garo asks why, since these worms will be meeting a similar fate. After being asked whose side he's on, Garo explains that they're all on the human side, while he's on the side of the monsters. Magician Guy laughs at this, saying he'll burn his body to ash, blasting fire in his direction. But Garo saw right through his little trick after slicing his arm off. Sitch calls for backup, but Garo was by far the strongest in the room, and made swift work of everybody. He tells Sitch he'll return in 6 months, even stronger and ready to fight Class S heroes. Class B Rank 1, Hellish Blizzard, and her 2 lackeys Rank 2 and 3, Eyelashes and Wild Monkey respectively, are walking towards Saitama's home. Hellish Blizzard asks what they'll do if he resists, and they respond they'll punish him. In Saitama's home, we learn of 2 promotions. Genos has risen to rank 14, and Saitama has shot up to rank 7 of Class B. Saitama is amazed at his rewards considering all he's done is defeat some monsters. Genos explains that despite not reporting his victories, his rank is rising, meaning citizens are recognizing Saitama and he may even have a fan club soon. Saitama dismisses this, saying not even Genos has a fan club, but he crushes Saitama's dreams by informing him he most certainly does. Something's approaching, and it's too quick to be human. Saitama is busy playing, so Genos will go. It's not Hellish Blizzard or her lackeys, it's Speedo Sound Sonic, and he wants Saitama out here to settle the score. Genos recognizes Sonic as the pervert from the Deep Sea King Day. He shames Sonic for calling himself Saitama's rival, and says he'll be eliminated, but Sonic feels the exact same way about Genos. 20 minutes later, Saitama is stressed. He's accidentally overwritten King's save data. On top of that, he borrowed the game without even asking. Someone interrupts by knocking at the door. Saitama answers, and says he doesn't need the newspaper. Blizzard introduces herself, saying Saitama has probably heard of her, but he responds nope, not even once. After learning she's Class B Rank 1, he simply says good job, and asks if they're done. Infuriated, they explain that everyone in Class B must introduce themselves to Blizzard formally. So Saitama steps out and very informally says,
"Konnichiwa, Saitama desu. Yoroshiku."
Blizzard says it'll do, and explains factions to Saitama. Saitama isn't following at all, and the lackeys are pissed at the lack of respect being shown. Saitama tries to leave saying he's busy, but Blizzard tells Saitama to join her group. The penny drops, Saitama understands what's happening. He calls Blizzard a gang leader, intimidating Class B heroes to be her dogs, and strikes a nerve by asking if she's scared of losing rank 1 to him. He obviously refuses the offer, and Blizzard tells her boys to rough him up, which gets them both sent flying. Saitama explains that Blizzard can't survive like this, but she takes off her coat and gets angry. She specializes in telekinesis, and Saitama warns her that's a bad idea. She sends Saitama for a ride, and upon believing she's won, Saitama appears behind her saying she'll never make top rank throwing tantrums like that. As she turns around, Saitama has already closed the gap, lecturing Blizzard about how she doesn't understand what a true hero is. Heroes fight monsters. Surrounding yourself with weaker people to feel strong is pathetic, and what Blizzard is doing makes her nothing but a poser. Blizzard strikes again, crushing Saitama only for him to break out of it with ease. Pushing him away and hitting him with rocks, she goes for a killing blow. Suddenly, Saitama can't believe his eyes as Sonic and Genos appear behind her. An explosion erupts. Genos accidentally led Sonic back to Saitama's apartment, and Blizzard stares in awe at a Class S hero being here. He apologizes for kicking up some dust around the area, and Saitama says this is a little more than some dust, bro, before we see that Saitama blocked Blizzard from being devastated by the explosion. Blizzard asks what's happening, and Genos explains he's Saitama's disciple, confusing Blizzard greatly. Genos understands immediately. Blizzard arrived to noob crush Saitama, but is now on the brink of death due to underestimating him. Saitama says now we just got caught up in your dust kicking, and before Genos can apologize a shuriken is thrown to interrupt them. A monster? Blizzard asks, but Saitama says no, and it's getting crowded so just go home already. Genos talks big, saying he could throw 100 more and not hit any, but Sonic responds he hasn't touched him yet either. Sonic prepares to fight, and Blizzard can sense his extraordinary ability just by seeing him. Sonic asks if Genos is sure he wants to continue after showing all he's got, but Genos corrects this saying he hasn't seen anything yet, before showcasing his new parts at full power. Blinking behind Sonic, he puts him on the defensive, constantly blinking back up to him the second he lands, and going behind him each time. Narrowly missing Sonic with his attacks, Blizzard can't even see what's happening. After disengaging briefly, Genos gave Sonic a free haircut. Angered, he drops his guard for a split second, and Genos moves in to win the fight. Suddenly, Genos hits nothing but air. It's an after image. Sonic creates 4 extra images by using his speed and special footwork. He goes for the killing blow, and since Genos can't track his movements, he charges his cannons to full power to blow the entire area away. However, Genos falls to the ground. Confused, Sonic wonders if he won, but realizes Saitama must have struck Genos down instead. He calls him too soft, saving his disciple, but Saitama corrects him by saying he simply doesn't want his entire neighborhood blown to bits. Genos wasn't built for petty street fights, and Sonic is after Saitama in the first place, so just this once, Saitama will take him seriously. Sonic has waited for this, and he's perfected the ultimate technique which Saitama looks forward to. This time, not 4, but 10 after images appear, proving Sonic must train incredibly hard. Blizzard understands that a Class B like Saitama doesn't have any chance, yet he doesn't waver. He prepares his ultimate, secret technique. Killer move, serious series, serious sideways jumps. Sonic can't believe it. Crashing into the ground, Sonic can't believe that after all this training, Saitama was faster, and says next time they meet he'll, before passing out. Blizzard watches in awe at the events that took place. She explains that she could never be number 1, for no matter how hard she trained, she was always second place to her older sister, Tornado. Saitama is more interested in manga, while Genos asks why she doesn't go for Class A rank 1 instead. She says this is impossible, for the 3 incredible students of Atomic Samurai are ranks 4, 3, and 2, and even they can't surpass rank 1, in my mask. To demonstrate this, we're shown a clip of him defeating a primitive monster with ease. Blizzard asks what's wrong with banding together, and Saitama says nothing really, he just doesn't want to be her underling. Blizzard scoffs at him, saying just being a little strong won't be enough to surpass the greatest heroes like Imai Mask or King. Speaking of King, guess who's at the door? King's here, and he wants his game back, and Saitama with a guilt-stricken face has to explain that he deleted King's save data. He gives the game back, and King sees the button is smashed in. Genos explains that despite not teaming up with anyone, not antagonizing people, nor caring about the rankings, Saitama has a magnetic pull of all heroes around him, simply because he's strong. Our episode ends there. Remember to subscribe if you enjoyed, as we prepare for the next episode where we get to see more of Garo in action. Keep it royal, Kings.